Hello everyone, I am Brian. You are Chords and Notes Nation. These are my two unnamed trolls, and this is another song reaction. Heart in Hand by Opeth, a new song by them. And it will be a true first listen. Haven't heard of it, and kind of really excited that there's new Opeth material. Been kind of quiet the last few days. I've been some sort of virus, not feeling well, so just kind of taking time for myself and getting better, hopefully. I hope all of you are well. Continue to stay well. Let's get rolling. beauty and chaos, all wrapped up into one song. Um, that's that's the summary. That's not the end of the reaction, though. That would just be ridiculous for you guys to listen to all of that just for me to see beauty and chaos and then turn off the video. um, as with all Opeth, there's so much going on, and it's a lot to process, and it's a lot to process in one listen. So that's definitely going to take a few more listens to really get into the depths of what's going on. Now, I was looking for the lyrics, which I couldn't find as I was listening to it. So, I never really paid attention to Opeth lyrics to begin with, because for me it was always about the music and the unorthodox compositions. When I first started listening to Opeth, the first album I listened to was Still Life. I don't know if it was a fresh release at the time when I started listening to it, but that was the first one I started listening to, and that's what got me was this. Over the course of the album, there was this contrast between the heavy playing and the death growls, and then songs like Benighted and Face of Melinda that were just such a stark contrast, and that's what drew me in, and I think that's what draws most people in, is this versatility in their sound, and they're continuing it. I think the only album of theirs I didn't listen to was Pale Communion, for whatever reason. Just kind of fell out of sync with them. And then Sorceress came around, and I was slow to get back into it, because I think it was, to me, it was too far towards the progressive side of things. And that's kind of weird, because I love progressive rock, but this is, I guess now it's called progressive metal. I don't know if this is a new genre or what, but they certainly showed elements of that early on, and cut their teeth on death metal and started bringing in elements of progressive rock. And Michael Ackerfeld has been more than vocal about his music listening tastes from the progressive rock genre. So it's no surprise. And in this song, it was, masterfully done. Excellent contrast in between chaos and beauty, and the chaos is all the stuff in the first 2/3 of the song that there was syncopation. There was a really strange, well, not strange, but unorthodox melody that he was singing. And the musicianship has always been top notch. The way that they execute the changes, whether it be the key changes or time changes, and it's always a journey. I think what they've done over the last couple albums, for sure, is they've kind of started composing things in a way that you're not dealing with just a central theme musically. In typical songwriting structure, you would have some sort of theme, whether it be a melody or a rhythm or a phrasing that is central to the song and gets repeated throughout and is connected. And I'm just getting the sense that they've thrown out all the rules to songwriting, which is fine, because as long as you can make it work, that's great. and they do make it work. There's a lot of sound, you know, and I'm okay with that. I like busy music, um, but it has to be done in a way where it's mixed, where it makes sense. And there were parts of this song where there was just so much going on, it was difficult for me to make sense of what was going on. Now, that's because they have a lot of people in the band. I know 5 at least. I don't know if they've added any more. And so, you know, it's different. You know, Rush, for example, 3 men, lots of sound, lots of instruments, but not so much that you can't process what's going on. Um, and and so, you know, and that's one band where people are like, wow, there's only 3 people making all that, right? And then you have a band like Opeth that I think are very similar vein of musicianship and ideas of how to compose. You know, they've got all these different players, and it just kind of, it's different. I don't know how to articulate it. I really don't at this point. Like I said, I'm still foggy in the head. I'm looking at my eyes. They're pretty dark underneath here. I got hit pretty hard with the virus. I don't know what it was, but anyways, so I mean, there's difference, and it all depends on who's in your band and how you're playing and your different points of view as a musician, and then what works, because you can try so many different things, and maybe 1 or 2 things work and the rest doesn't. So it's always amazing to hear Opeth and how they come to a final piece. And this one was enjoyable, and it's, you know, it's one of those songs that makes me want to go back and listen to it more, because there's just so much depth musically in what's going on. So that's all I have for this one, and I will talk to you guys in the near future, and hopefully when I'm feeling a little bit better too, so I can articulate better. Anyways, take care. Bye.